Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here today to draw a side profile view of the human face. So let's get started. Again, this is a video in a series where you can pause the video, rewind, rewatch certain parts of it if I go too quickly, which I probably will. Okay, so let's start out. First thing we want to do is draw a shape for the head. Now, it's beneficial to start with a circle here. So we're going to start with a circle. Doesn't have to be perfect, but a circle is how we will start this drawing. And once we have this established here, I'm going to draw almost like an ice cream cone shape that comes off of this. So as the front of the face comes down, we're going to go down straight on that side, and then we're also going to do that from the other side here, coming out, this is back of the head right here, the base of the skull. And we're going to come down, not straight, but like at a diagonal off of that. And this is going to create the structure for the skull. So not quite an egg shape this time. It's almost egg shape, but you would see this as the point of the egg down here. Now, from there, we are going to utilize some of the same guidelines that we have in the past. The eye line is going to be halfway, and just to be a little bit more exact, I'm going to use my ruler here. I'm in 5.5 for the shape, for the height of the head, so that's going to be 2 3/4, about halfway right there. And that's going to be for the eye line the whole way across. Next guideline is going to be for the nose. Halfway from the eyes to the chin is the nose. Again, I'm going to try to make mine more exact here. And it's about right there for the nose. And then the lips being a third of the way down from the nose to the chin. So approximately in thirds there would give us a good placement for the lips. Okay, we have everything placed out here. This isn't as perfect as the forward-facing figure. Obviously, with that, we were aided by symmetry, making things the same on the left as they are on the right. But with this one, we are going to have a couple different rules that are going to apply. Now, I'm going to start with the eyes, and actually, what I'm starting with basically is the profile. We want to establish the side of the face. Obviously, it's going to show where several items are three-dimensional that come off the face or go in from this baseline that we've established. So the first thing we're going to do is the eyebrow ridge. And that's going to start right above the eye line. It's only going to come off slightly. Now, for a more masculine look, you would exaggerate the eyebrow ridge a little bit more than you might for a feminine look. And now, of course, gender is what it is. And in this, I am going to draw something that's fairly ambiguous. I'm not going to lean in either direction. So I'm coming out for the brow bone, and I erased a little bit there so you could see it a little bit better. And it's going to come back a little bit further back than where the initial line was for the top of the nose bone. And now that nose is going to travel all the way down to the base of this, which is the base of the nose where we established earlier. It's going to come down, and you can give it a little bit of shape if you'd like. For the most part, it's mostly straight. I gave mine a little bit of a bump right there, and then just coming around for the rounding off the base of the nose. And I'm going to come back, not too far, but I'm going to come back enough to give the nose a little bit of depth there. Now, we are going to add more shading later where things will appear to be more realistic. But for that's a good shape of the nose there. For this next part, I'm going to draw the lips, but I'm going to draw them a little bit larger over here so you can see a little bit better. Once you have the nose here, there's a giant nose. Once you've established that, what you'll want to capture next is the fact that the lips do come off the face slightly. So it's going to go beyond what you see there for the initial line. And the top lip itself does bend in slightly like that. And then that would be where the lips meet. And then the bottom lip will catch most of the light because it protrudes like that. So I would say they're pretty much even. You don't want to go out too far for the lips there. But once you roll off the bottom lip there, it's going to come down, and then there's going to be a little bit of an indent for the chin. Okay, so I'm going to include those here. Come off the, oh, that was a little high, sorry. We come off, we come down to meet right there. Then we do the lip shape. I'm erasing some of the initial guidelines so you can see a little bit better. Okay. The bottom lip catches the light. And I'm going to tuck that chin back slightly from my initial guideline too, because now that I'm seeing this all together, I can adjust and get a more accurate profile. So we had the shape that comes down for the lip there and joins for the chin. I like to step these back slightly as we go. It just tends to line everything up a little bit better. So that's a pretty good profile right there. We're going to go with that. We're going to add the eyebrow, the eye, the ear, the hairline, and the neck as well. So from the chin, we'll leave that there. Come back up to the eye, and now the eyebrow is just going to tuck right into this little section right here that we established for the brow ridge earlier. So as you can see, the eyes where we draw them might be slightly touching this, but we'll go down a little bit further. So we're going to start out here just where the eyebrow. And that's going to tuck into that section right there. And I'm going to now draw the eye. Now, Egyptian eyes on the side profile view. You may already know this, but the Egyptian eye was facing forward while the head was facing to the side. So it was less accurate back then. You guys now have the knowledge to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to place this eye right here. And all you need to do is think about a simple V shape, like this. Okay? And then the lens of the eye as well. And that kind of just sits in this little section here. If you notice that it's too close to the edge, back it up slightly. If you notice that it's too far back, put it up slightly. But it's right in this region that we have the iris, and then you can also fill in the pupil. Okay? From there, we can now establish the ear. I want to put that on the eye line like we've established before, and then we have the, we want to put another mark here at halfway. Halfway back is going to be the ear, but it's not going to be on that line, it's going to be behind that line. We know that it goes from approximately the eyebrow to the base of the nose, so this is the section for the ear. Okay, I'm going to go fairly quickly through this, so if you need a little bit of extra detail on the ear, feel free to rewatch this section, but it's going to be this shape like this. Come down to join down here. From here, we have the upper ridge of the ear. Now, I'm not, completely familiar with all of the names of these little items in the ear, but what we do have is the top ridge here, almost the whole perimeter of the ear, and then we have a little bit of a shaded section right here. We have a Y shape in the ear. That Y shape, again, I'm not really certain what the name of that Y shape is, but that comes down almost to rejoin for where the ear canal goes into the ear. This section right here is actually called the tragus. It's that little tab that protects the front, and into the ear canal right here. That is about all of the detail you might need for that. Then I would give the lobe a little bit of shading as well, just to give it a little bit more of a 3D look. Okay? Again, I'm not certain what all the names of these pieces are of the ear and the cartilage and everything, but that's enough to give you a realistic look for the ear. Okay. Hairline. Oh, I forgot the lips. We should probably touch upon the lips again. I don't really do a whole lot as far as the side view with the lips, except to give it an indication of the top lip like that, and the bottom lip, which again will catch light, so it's going to be lighter than the top lip. I always shade the top lip, I never shade the bottom lip. Hairline, we talked about that being a third of the way down from the top of the head to the eye line, so it's approximately third of the way down there. Again, you won't see this unless you have hair that's very short. The hairline will arc across the front like that, step down to the side, step back to where the sideburn is, and that's where it will join in the front. Now, in the back, we might have to establish the neck real quick because we do need to have the neck join the head in the back like this. It's gonna really kind of like where these two lines kind of join. It kind of will just slope off the back like this and come up in the front to join the chin. Now you can keep some of these lines here, but actually I think the jawline might be more well established if it connected to the ear, where you really do have that jaw connect in there. One last thing to add here for the hairline. Let's erase again some of these guidelines. It's going to come in down in the back, come off the ear like this, so that you have the full hairline. Now, of course, you can go on and add whatever type of hair you would like for this figure. My recommendations would stay the same as the forward-facing figure, which is to not draw every strand, to draw some of the major value differences, and then you can go back in and add some strands for texture. I'm not going to go and do a whole bunch of hair right now, but I am adding a couple places where it would be important to include some shading. Okay? As far as shading, there's only a couple places where it would be really important. That is on the neck, to make sure that the chin does look like it's coming forward. I'm also going to add a little around, and again, I'm erasing guidelines as we go here. I'm going to add some to around the eye. We know that the eye socket does sit back slightly and does catch some shading. You can add a little bit around the eye as well to get a little bit of that round texture of the eyeball. A little bit around the cheek here, the cheekbone area. I'm doing a little bit under the nose as well because we will see a little bit of shade from the light coming from above here. Maybe a little bit on the bottom lip, as it will probably shade underneath there to give the chin a little bit more light. But really, that's about it. There is your side-facing profile figure.